Sins of omission and commission, ask that you forgive me of those sins in the name of Jesus. Lord, I ask you just guide us throughout our meeting. Help us to make decisions based on our constituents to make our city better and move forward. We ask that things be done decently and in order. In Jesus' name I pray with thanksgiving. Amen.
Amen. Councilman Reynolds.
Face the flag, salute, pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please call the roll.
Councilman Hooper.
Here.
Councilman Godfrey.
Here.
Councilwoman Woods.
Here.
Councilman Marcello.
Here.
Councilman Reynolds.
Here.
Councilman LeBoux.
Here.
President Larkin.
Here. The visitor's docket is set aside for anyone wishing to come forward and speak on any item that is not on tonight's agenda. We ask that you fill out a request to appear card. We have one. Mr. Brian Hutchins, would you please come to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and you'll have 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Wish I'd have known I had 5 minutes, I'd have read it out. My name is Brian Hutchins. My address is 160 Sanders Road. I'm not a constituent of anyone in here. I live outside the city limits by about 100 meters. I come today because I paid my water bill today, and there's another rate increase. And I live outside the city limits and already pay a higher rate. And I got here 3 years ago, I was paying $49 for water and sewer. I'm paying $125 now. I just kind of wanted to ask you guys, what's the plan to get the price of water and sewer under control? It's kind of a surprise to me moving here. It's not exactly like it's a state that's a little short on water. Now I understand that there's expenses that go with things, but my question is have we considered other means of maintaining cost and control? Because in my conversation at the pay cage, I noticed an employee just standing there for about the 5 minutes I was talking, didn't seem to be doing anything. So I just know that governments are inefficient. I was a retired Army. The Army's inefficient. Anything that's a bureaucracy is inefficient. But there's some things you can do. You can hire an efficiency expert to come in and observe your operations and bring better efficiency. There's just other ways to figure out how to save money, I think. And one question I would have for y'all is, was there ever a plan when you brought in outside the city limits and you charged those increased rates? I would assume that was for the infrastructure going outside the city limit. But that was years ago. And my question would be is it paid for? I'm only 100 yards out. I would imagine my infrastructure has been paid for quite some time. And is there any reason I couldn't at least pay what the residential city members are paying? So I'm not going to take up the full 5 minutes. Y'all kind of understand the issue. But to go from $49 to $125, and part of that, I will mention this, because 5 months ago, they finally started recording and I quit paying just the base rate because it's showing my water usage is 0. I came in twice in the first year and said, y'all aren't picking up my meter. And I just assumed they were driving too far away and it wasn't picking up, but I tried to make it right. It went on for a long time. We had that first increase, and we had that really big one, then we had this last one, which was about 25% on my bill. And at a certain point, I got to dig a well. That's just what the matter is, because it's just getting unaffordable. So I'll leave it to y'all. Like I said, I'm not even a constituent here as far as living in the city, but I am affected by y'all's decisions, and it bothers me a good bit. So I'll open myself up to questions from y'all if you like. But
well, this time is not the time for that, but anyone at this table would be happy to discuss that with you. If you want to wait till after the meeting, myself personally, or you can make an appointment with the mayor's office or with any one of us outside of tonight. We would be happy to tell you what did take place.
Okay. Well, I'm going to hang around for the rest of the meeting. So.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank y'all.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. We have no amendments to the agenda. The June 23rd minutes have been distributed. Are there any corrections to the minutes? There being none, the minutes are approved. We have no awards, bid awards, ratifications, condemnations, or resolutions. We will move to Mr. Williams for ordinance introductions.
Yes, Mr. President. An ordinance authorizing the city of DeRidder through its mayor to enter into a cooperative endeavor agreement with Upper Iowa University for the purpose of occupying office space in the premises commonly referred to as the First Street School, and repealing all ordinances and parts of ordinances in conflict herewith. Whereas the city of DeRidder owns the premises commonly referred to as the First Street School in DeRidder, the said buildings include office space on the first floor, and whereas Upper Iowa University is the University in the state of Louisiana, and the city desires to enter into a cooperative endeavor agreement so as to provide office space and classrooms for educational purposes for the city's citizens. And whereas UIU proposes to enter into a cooperative endeavor agreement with the city of DeRidder pursuant to the terms and conditions set forth therein as stated in Exhibit A, which is attached here to and made a part of hereof, all while holding harmless and indemnifying the city as to potential damages and losses due to injuries and property losses thereon. And whereas the city council hereby declares that it is in the best interest of the city to enter into a cooperative endeavor agreement with UIU so as to provide office space and classrooms for the educational purposes for city citizens. Now therefore be it ordained that the city of DeRidder through its mayor join with Upper Iowa University so as to provide office space and classrooms for educational purposes as set forth in accordance with the terms and conditions and for the consideration in Exhibit A hereto. Be it further ordained that all ordinances and partial ordinances in conflict herewith be in the same or hereby repealed, thus done and adopted on the 28th day of July 2025 by the City Council of the City of DeRidder in regular session duly convened in council chambers in DeRidder, Louisiana.
May I have a motion for introduction?
I move to introduce.
Thank you. May I have a second? Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Councilwoman Woods.
Yes.
Councilman Marcello.
Yes.
Councilman Hooper.
Yes.
Councilman Godfrey.
Yes.
Councilman Reynolds.
Yes.
Councilman LeBouf.
Yes.
President Larkin.
Yes, the motion having been approved, the public hearing is set for Monday, July the 28th, 2025.
An ordinance authorizing the city of DeRidder through its mayor to enter into a cooperative endeavor agreement with Senator Mike Reese for the purpose of occupying temporary office space and doing business in the premises commonly referred to as the First Street School and repealing all ordinances and partial ordinances in conflict herewith. Whereas the city of DeRidder owns the premises commonly referred to as the First Street School in DeRidder, the said buildings include office space on the first floor. And whereas Senator Mike Reese is a resident domiciliary of Louisiana and is authorized to do business in the state of Louisiana. And whereas Senator Mike Reese and the city desire to enter into a cooperative endeavor agreement so as to provide temporary office space for Senator Mike Reese for legislative office purposes only. And whereas Senator Mike Reese proposes to enter into a cooperative endeavor agreement with the city of DeRidder pursuant to the terms and conditions set forth therein as stated in Exhibit A, which is attached here to and made a part of hereof, all while holding harmless and indemnifying the city as to potential damages and losses due to injuries and property losses thereon. And whereas the city council hereby declares that it is in the best interest of the city to enter into a cooperative endeavor agreement with Senator Mike Reese so as to provide temporary office space for legislative office purposes only for city citizens. Now therefore be it ordained that the city of DeRidder through its mayor join with Senator Mike Reese so as to provide temporary office space for legislative office purposes only as set forth in accordance with the terms and conditions and for the consideration in Exhibit A hereto. Be it further ordained that all ordinances and partial ordinances in conflict herewith be and the same are hereby repealed, thus done and adopted on the 28th day of July 2025 by the City Council of the City of DeRidder in regular session duly convened in council chambers of DeRidder, Louisiana.
May I have a motion for introduction?
Move to introduce.
Thank you. May I have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Councilman Marcello.
Yes.
Councilman Hooper.
Yes.
Councilman Godfrey.
Yes.
Councilwoman Woods.
Yes.
Councilman Reynolds. Councilman LeBouf.
Yes. President
Larkin.
Yes, the motion being approved, the public hearing, excuse me, is set for Monday, July the 28th, 2025.
An ordinance amending Chapter 2 Administration, Article 3, Personnel Policies and Procedures, Division 1, generally Section 2-36A, a residency requirement for civil service board members and repealing all ordinances and partial ordinances in conflict herewith. Whereas Chapter 2 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of DeRidder, Louisiana governs the administration of the city, and whereas the City of DeRidder recognizes that there is a need from time to time to update administrative codes pertaining to the civil service board policies to be compliant with the Louisiana law. And whereas the City Council of the City of DeRidder, Louisiana, finds it appropriate to that Chapter 2 Administration, Article 3, Personnel Policies and Procedures, Division 1, generally Section 236A of the residency requirement for civil service board members be repealed and replaced as shown in the document attached to and made a part hereof as Exhibit A. Now therefore be it ordained that the City Council of the City of DeRidder, Louisiana, hereby repeals and replaces Chapter 2 Administration, Article 3, Personnel Policies and Procedures, Division 1, generally Section 2-36A of residency requirement for civil service members of the Code of Ordinances of the City of DeRidder, Louisiana, all pursuant to the aforementioned Exhibit A. Be it further ordained that all ordinances and parts of ordinances in conflict herewith be and the same are hereby repealed, so it's done and adopted on the 28th day of July 2025 in regular session, duly convened by the City Council and City Council Chambers in DeRidder, Louisiana.
May I have a motion for introduction?
Move to introduce.
Thank you. May I have a second? We have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Councilman Hooper,
Yes.
Councilman Godfrey,
Yes.
Councilwoman Woods,
Yes.
Councilman Marcello,
Yes.
Councilman Reynolds,
Yes.
Councilman LeBoot, President Larkin.
Yes, the motion being approved, the public hearing is set for July the 28th, 2025.
In ordinance amending chapter 4, buildings, construction and related activities, Article 7, Commercial Historic District, Division 2, Commercial Historic Advisory Commission, Section 4-174, purpose, and Section 177, staff, and repealing all ordinances and parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, whereas the City of DeRidder is desirous of promoting the educational, cultural, and economic welfare of the public of the city, preserving and protecting historic structures and neighborhoods which serve as visible reminders of the history and cultural heritage of the city, and furthermore to strengthen the economy of the city by stabilizing and improving property values in historic areas. And whereas the City Council of the city and the mayor recognize there's a need to amend certain language in chapter 4, buildings, construction, and related activities, Article 7, Commercial Historic District, Division 2, Commercial Historic District Advisory Commission, Section 4-174, purpose, and Section 4-177, staff of the city's code of ordinances. Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of DeRidder that chapter 4, buildings, construction, and related activities, Article 7, Commercial Historic District, Division 2, Commercial Historic District Advisory Commission, Section 4-174, purpose, and Section 4-177, staff of the Code of Ordinances, be amended to read as follows. Section 4-174, purpose. The purpose of the commission shall be to administer and delegate functions as set forth in this chapter, to provide advice and recommendations to the Planning and Zoning Commission, and to provide owners and developers in the DeRidder Historic District, and to oversee new construction, remodeling, and rehabilitation, restorations, and additions made in DeRidder Historic District. The commission shall also endorse plans as presented, or when deemed necessary, make recommendations to the Planning and Zoning Commission for changes to plan as presented to property owners related to proposed alterations, relocations, and new construction within the boundaries of the DeRidder Historic District, and any other actions necessary to implement the intent of this article. Commission recommendation shall not be binding. However, the commission shall make itself available to assist owners of the property on which alteration, relocation, or new construction is contemplated, and complying with any recommendations made by the commission. The commission shall also assist property owners interested in pursuing investment tax credits and other tax incentives for historic rehabilitation to meet the requirements of any program. Section 4-177, staff. The mayor's assistant shall serve as clerk for the commission as well as other persons designated by the mayor. And therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of DeRidder that the City of DeRidder's Code of Ordinances for the City of DeRidder be, and the same is hereby amended to include the above stated amendment. Be it further ordained that all paragraphs, subsections, subparagraphs, columns, phrases, and words of chapter 4, buildings, construction, and related activities of the City of DeRidder Code of Ordinances not particularly amended by this ordinance or to remain the same. Be it further ordained that all ordinances and parts of ordinances in conflict will be and the same are hereby repealed, thus done and adopted on 28th day of July 2025 by the City Council of the City of DeRidder in regular session duly convened in council chambers at DeRidder, Louisiana.
May I have a motion for introduction?
Move to introduce.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Councilman Godfrey,
Yes.
Councilwoman Woods,
Yes.
Councilman Marcello,
Yes.
Councilman Hooper.
Yes.
Councilman Reynolds.
Yes.
Councilman LeBoot.
Yes.
President Larkin.
Yes, the motion being approved, the public hearing is set for Monday, July the 28th, 2025.
In order to approve an invoice, COD Debris 2, and payment thereof to Lambert's Tree Service LLC for emergency debris removal and disposal operations, and repealing all ordinances and parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, whereas the City of DeRidder, Louisiana was faced with an immediate need on an expedited basis for debris removal and disposal from property, both public and private, located within the city limits that presented a severe nuisance. And whereas by emergency ordinance number 0-2025-31 adopted on June 9, 2025, the City Council authorized the mayor to contract with Lambert's Tree Service LLC to perform emergency debris removal and disposal operations, in the total contract cost estimated not to exceed $30,000, a copy of which said ordinance is attached here to and made a part hereof as Exhibit A. And whereas the city finds that Members Tree Service LLC has satisfactorily completed the said emergency debris removal and disposal operations, and finds that its final invoice number COD debris 2 attached hereto made a part hereof as Exhibit B should be placed in line for payment by the city, and therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of DeRidder that Members Tree Service invoice COD debris 2 for expedited debris removal and disposal operations as set forth in Exhibit B and attached here to is approved. Be it further ordained that all ordinances and parts of ordinances in conflict herewith be and the same are hereby repealed. Thus and done on the 28th day of July 2025 in regular session duly convened in council chambers by the City Council of the City of DeRidder at DeRidder, Louisiana.
May I have a motion for introduction?
I move to introduce that, Mayor.
Thank you. May I have a second? Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Mr. LaBuca. Please call the roll.
Councilwoman Woods?
Yes.
Councilman Marcello? Councilman Hooper?
Yes.
Councilman Godfrey?
Yes.
Councilman Reynolds?
Yes.
Councilman LeBouf? President Larkin?
Yes, the motion being approved, the public hearing is set for Monday, July the 28th, 2025.
An ordinance amending chapter 11, planning and development by establishing an economic development advisory board as article 5 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of DeRidder, and repealing all ordinances and parts of ordinances in conflict herewith. Whereas the City of DeRidder is desirous of promoting and attracting new businesses that will add to the city's already strong and diverse economic community, and creating policies aimed at retaining and supporting existing businesses. And whereas the City Council of the city and the mayor recognize there's a need to amend and add Article 5 Economic Development Advisory Board to Chapter 11 Planning and Development of the Code of Ordinances. Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of DeRidder that Chapter 11 Planning and Development be amended to add Article 5 Economic Development Advisory Board of the Code of Ordinances as follows. Article 5 Economic Development Advisory Board purpose. The purpose of the City of DeRidder's Economic Development Advisory Board is to establish and execute the City of DeRidder's comprehensive economic development plan. The plan is defined as a statement of goals and objectives in the city's pursuit of long-term permanent employment opportunities, enhancement of quality of life for the city residents, highest and best land use, and maximum development of natural resources. The plan will describe the economic condition of the city and identify the potential of economic development areas. The board shall ultimately help lead the City of DeRidder's economic development initiatives, working alongside the mayor and his designated staff, and all toward the betterment of the city. The board shall report to the office of the mayor and his designated staff. Creation, there is hereby created the City of DeRidder Economic Development Advisory Board, hereinafter referred to the purpose of this article as board. The mayor shall nominate those to serve on the board, and the City Council shall ratify said nominations. All members of said board shall be appointed by the mayor in the various representation categories, such as but not limited to business, tourism, industry, education, finance, healthcare, and general public interest. Board members must be electors of the city, be able to vote in city elections, except those board members who reside outside the city limits, reside within Boulevard Parish, and own or are chief executive officers of businesses located within the city limits. There shall be 7 members comprising said board. All members of the board shall serve 4 years each, except that any member appointed to fill a vacancy, if and to the extent this exception is in conformity with the applicable law, serve only for the unexpired term of such office. If at the expiration of any term of office a successor thereto has not been elected, then the member whose term of office has expired shall continue to hold office until his or her successor shall so be elected. Members of the board shall serve voluntarily without compensation or incentive for membership or service except by resolution of the council, and may be reimbursed for the actual expenses incurred by them in the performance of conducting business of the board. Duties: the board shall prepare an economic development plan hereinafter for the purposes of this article as the plan for the city of DeRidder. Number 1, the plan shall be updated annually. Number 2, the plan and strategy shall be consistent with city policies and its codes of ordinances. The major components of the plan shall consist of A, factual data to make certain that city residents understand the current development situation as a base upon which to make decisions. B, identification of community visions and potential such as resources or locations that can be the basis for economic development. C, establishment of goals and immediate objectives to point the direction of development activities and upon which to measure progress for satisfying long-term goals. And D, a strategy for development and marketing, an implementation plan of activities necessary to accomplish the city's stated goals and objectives. 3, the plan shall encourage activities that A, provide long-term benefits, quality of life, increase efficiencies and economies in public service, and increase permanent private sector employment to the residents of the city by strengthening and diversifying the present economic base and encouraging and supporting new activities. B, have positive effects on the revenue and fiscal conditions of the city and do not impose burdensome costs to the taxpayer in excess of their positive effects. C, the plan must recognize and support the idea that government does not produce wealth, but instead supports the private sector's efforts to advance and promote commerce. And D, the plan shall also provide for research, public input, collect, analyze, and disseminate information to evaluate economic development opportunities and strategies. 4, the board shall also identify impediments to economic development in the city of DeRidder imposed by all influences such as government at all levels, transportation, utility infrastructure, and energy systems. Other duties, members shall also build relationships and generate resources, acting as a conduit between businesses, government, and the community, and assisting with the center of awareness and business needs. Members shall also promote the community as an attractive business investment center and advocate for projects and policies that strengthen the local economy and diversify the tax base consistent with the community's character. Staff assistance to the board. Number 1, the mayor shall designate a city employee to assist the board as a regular technical advisor. The technical advisor shall not have the power to vote. Number 2, the mayor shall designate a city employee to serve the board as its recording clerk. The recording clerk shall maintain minutes of board proceedings. Quorum. The quorum shall be made up of 4 members to be required to conduct a meeting. Chairperson, vice chairperson. The board shall elect annually its own members, a chairperson, vice chairperson, or any other officer it deems appropriate. The chairperson shall preside at all board meetings and may participate in debate and vote on any matter. In the absence of a chairperson, the vice chairperson shall exercise all the powers of the chairperson. Meetings. A, all meetings are open to the public and shall be held in accordance with state law. B, regular board meetings shall be held at least quarterly in the city's conference room unless otherwise designated by the board. The public is welcome to attend these meetings. If the public would like to address the board, they must complete a public comment card prior to the meeting. C, all votes taken at the meeting are by roll call. D, minutes maintained by the recording clerk shall reflect the vote of each member upon every question. E, if a member is absent for 3 consecutive meetings, the member's seat will be considered vacant and a new member will be appointed by the mayor to finish the outgoing board member's 4-year term, and said appointment will be ratified by the city council. Conflict of interest clause. A board member shall declare substantial financial interest if the member has in an official action prior to discussion and vote on the matter. B, the chairperson shall rule on the request to be excused from discussion and vote. C, the decision of the chairperson on the request may be overridden by a majority vote of the board and shall be decided without debate. Now therefore be ordained by the city council of the city of DeRidder that the city of DeRidder's code of ordinances for the city of DeRidder be and the same is hereby amended to include the above stated amendment. Be it further ordained that all other paragraphs, subsections, subparagraphs, clauses, phrases, and words of chapter 11 planning and development of the city of DeRidder code of ordinances not specifically amended by this ordinance are to remain the same. Be it further ordained that all ordinances and parts of ordinances in conflict herewith be and the same are hereby repealed, thus done and adopted on the 28th day of July 2025 by the city council of the city of DeRidder in regular session duly convened in council chambers at DeRidder, Louisiana.
May I have a motion for introduction?
A motion, please.
May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Councilman Marcello?
Yes.
Councilman Hooper?
Yes.
Councilman Godfrey?
Yes.
Councilwoman Woods?
Yes.
Councilman Reynolds? Councilman LeBouf? President Larkin?
Yes, the motion being approved, the public hearing is set for Monday, July the 28th, 2025. We will now move to public hearings.
An ordinance designated Shane D. Williams, attorney at law, and associate with Derek Johnson and Associates, APLC, as city attorney for the city of DeRidder, and approving the contract for legal services in conjunction therewith, and repealing all ordinances and parts of ordinances in conflict herewith.
At this time, I will open the public hearing and ask if anyone has any public comments. Hearing no response, public hearing is closed. I will now open up remarks from the council. Mr. Hooper?
Yes, Mr. Williams, thank you for serving as interim. I'd just like to speak up about the excuse me, I'm sorry. As you know, I get emotional when I speak about things. So, we as elected officials are here to do what is right for the citizens of our community. Where we can, we need to try to shop local. I'm a local business person, and I try to shop local when I can. Like I said, Mr. Williams is highly qualified for this position. I have no problem with the rate that he's recommending for this. However, the citizens of our community pay taxes and they fund our budget. I would like to see, if any way possible, for us to look local for this position. If we've exalted all positions that do not want to participate in this, then I have no problem going with someone out of town. But for me, as an elected official, to answer to my constituents, why are we going out of town? I need that answer.
I can
So-
give you that. I can give you that answer. I was the one who actually hired him, so that question would actually be directed to me. So if I, Mr. Williams, I'll take this. Okay, it's no secret that when I took office, the attorney left 2 weeks before I took office. Okay? That's the situation this incoming mayor came in. There was no attorney, no legal representation for the city of DeRidder.
Correct.
Okay, for whatever reason, his reason, I spoke with him, I'm not upset with him at all. The second reason, I called Lama to find someone who was qualified with the municipality laws. I did speak with local attorneys, and no one meets the qualification of this gentleman. No one. Thirdly, the decision to hire this attorney was my decision because I believe that our city is looking for transparency. They're looking for people who's just gonna do, as you said, the right thing by the law, okay? Since the attorney has been representing the city, I'll just share with you now, he's the guy who introduced me to the consultant that came in to help me realize how much money we was not getting with the banks that we were getting. That's gonna get us over $250,000. He's only been here for 2 months representing me. I believe that it is the best interest of our city at this time, when my office, the mayor's office, integrity was in question, to get someone in from outside the city to follow the laws that we place. We write these ordinances. And if we want someone to follow those laws, let's get someone in here that has no inside interest as far as not meeting at the clubs and having these discussions about what we're gonna do. He has absolutely no interest in local politics. His job is to legally represent the office and the city. Since he's been doing it, he's been doing a very good job, and I'm well pleased. I do not regret that decision. And again, I did reach out to other local attorneys, and they do not have his experience. And I, as a new mayor, would feel very uncomfortable with someone, local or not local, without the experience needed to move the city forward, especially in the condition the city was in when I took office. And everyone knows the condition the city was in when I took office. Fourthly and finally, I trust them. The people who elected me, the 10 that got me in, deserves the best. I trust them. So if this is gonna make me lose the mayoral seat, I'll lose it because I have integrity in the legal representation that we have. I have transparency in the way I do business. I don't have a problem with that. But I will tell you that it's still my opinion that these guys represents us well. The ethics board was called by a person here. Instead of coming to me, I'd already reached out to the ethics board. But they were notified, and the ethics board said it was no problem. So I understand that we're used to the way we've been doing business, but I'm a different mayor. I do it differently. So the only thing I'm asking anyone here to do is please understand that this is in the best interest of the city. I did not know these attorneys before the seat was vacant. I never met them before in my life. I've only met them after the seat was vacant, and you had an incoming mayor who's never been mayor before, in a position to where he was desperate. So for the past 8 weeks, they have earned my respect, and I believe they should earn the respect of the city. I think nothing you said challenges anything that they've done unethically or immoral. Nothing you said to do that. I understand you buy local. I support buying local, but I don't want to buy a local attorney. I want to pay him for his services as he represents all of DeRidder fairly and equally, based off the laws and the statutes that we vote on in this office. So I made that decision. It's if there's an issue, I'll fall on that sword for it, but I support that decision that I made. So if anyone have any other questions,
Thank you for your comments, Mayor.
yes, sir.
President,
Yes, sir.
No, go ahead, please.
Go ahead.
so, you said a lot. I don't think that your ethics and morality, none of that was brought into question. Nobody's questioning that.
Right.
Right.
You have been most kind and professional since you've been here, and we appreciate you taking that role in the interim. So, none of this is about that. I'm sure that I'm getting the same questions you're getting. I'm assuming I'm getting some of the same questions, and that is simply why are we going outside to find an attorney when we have plenty of talent and education and experience here locally, people that have gone to get those educations, move their family back, they go to school here, they go to church here, they go to, I understand what you're saying, but we can.
I'm tracking on.
We can, my questions are coming from the other side of that.
Okay.
It's why are we going somewhere else for an attorney that may not have as deep of an interest or respect for our city locally and things that affect us personally, where we shop, where we eat, where we go to church, where we go to school, all that kind of stuff. I know that there's plenty of talent here. I don't know who you talk to or I don't know any of that. All I know is that I don't know anybody that has been spoken to, and I don't know. And again, you referred back to the previous city attorney that was here, and we were forwarded a copy of the letter that he provided you. That
When I was not in office. And
but the letter was to you, and it stated his reason,
Right.
and all of that, and he offered recommendation. And it's my understanding that you have not spoken to him, nor did you even ask his recommendation. And that's fine, that's your prerogative. I just have to ask those questions on behalf of my constituents. So
Okay.
that's what I'm doing.
So allow me to answer your questions very specifically. First, you said we wasn't talking about his integrity. That's great. We agree on that, okay? Secondly, you said that there's plenty of lawyers here. Not one lawyer has reached out to me, except the outgoing lawyer who has definitely reached out to me. We've had conversations. His reasons for leaving, I find them justifiable. I just told you the situation. I walked in, the seat was vacant. That was a fact. We all know the seat was vacant. So whatever reason he left, I had to put someone in that seat. Okay. I think I made a good decision. Why I'm not choosing a local lawyer? One, when I made this decision, and I've seen him, he's a proven performer from my perspective, and I feel comfortable with him. I do believe that, and I have received those calls as well, but most of them has been, thank you for breaking up the good old boy system. Thank you for bringing someone in where transparency can be seen. We wanted someone who's not afraid to stand up and say, I'm doing this because I believe it's right, and then own it. So I'm owning it. I mean, there's gonna be people who will not like me because of this decision. I understand that. But I know that I'm gonna go to sleep tonight, well, because I believe I did the right thing. It has nothing to do with, it's not even a political move, it's just the right thing to do, in my opinion. I think to bring these guys on, when I was in an emergency state, and they do such a good job, thank you very much, see you later. No, I want you to continue that good job, and that's the standard that we're gonna have with every contractor that contract with the city. I let them understand there's a standard that we have now. From the pavements of High School Drive, we have a standard. And listen, you're right. I talk a lot about it because I'm very passionate about it. I care about this city. I was born and raised here. My mom is buried here. I'm probably buried here as well. So when we talk about not caring, I walk these streets. I knocked on these doors. I talk to these people. just a few minutes before this meeting, I was at a resident's house about a phone call that he had. So I understand it. But it's not just one class of people. It's all the people. And that's the bottom line. We're all citizens. And I believe that these guys represent all of us well. So, of course, you're going to get phone calls. And so will I. But at the end of the day, either we're going to stand for what we believe is right or we're going to fold because people, certain people, are pulling our strings. And the way that I am is just the way that I am. And this is the way I'm going to be. I believe that if I make a decision that I believe is right, I got to stick to it. I'm not going to kick the can, because if we don't vote on this tonight and we kick the can down the road, we'll become the kick the can down the road council instead of a council that can make a decision and move on. We said, all of us said, we want our city to move forward. Well, the reason the city cannot move forward is because we cannot come into agreement on things that are so small. This, as long as he's following the rules and regulations, we need a lawyer that live inside the city limits. He's going to follow the same rules and regulations this guy is. This is not taxes. We're not getting taxes for someone purchasing something from Walmart. How can we even make that comparison? But I understand that there's opposition for me, and I'm cool with that. But it's not going to change me for who I am. And I believe I'm making the right decision. And again, I'm going to stick to it. Your choice is to vote for it or vote against it. But I will assure you that your vote will show the city the direction you want to take it. You got to own that.
Mr. Marcel?
Thank you very much. And first, I want to also recognize this is not about integrity. And Mayor, this is definitely not a reflection on any decision that you've made. And I respect all the decisions that you've made.
I try to
So
make
thank
good
you.
ones.
I like Mr. Williams, and I truly appreciate his coming to DeRidder from Alexandria and agreeing and serving as the city's interim attorney since the resignation of our former city attorney. Mayor, I fully understand that you had to make I'm going to call it an emergency decision to protect this city and put an interim attorney in place at the time that you had to. I think that was part of what you needed to do, and I respect that fully and understand it fully. As others, I've been approached, been called, I've been questioned by constituents in my district asking, is there not any local attorney interested or qualified to be the city attorney? I am voted on by, and I represent the people of DeRidder. It is my understanding, though, that the city attorney of DeRidder, his main qualification is that the attorney has a minimum of at least 3 years legal experience. Now, municipal experience, it's not required, but I will say that is an asset. And I will say that Mr. Williams has that asset. As a city councilman, I also, Mayor, want the best qualified attorney to represent this council and to represent the city. If there is a local attorney, though, that is equally qualified and has been considered, then I would feel more comfortable knowing that we looked in DeRidder before going outside DeRidder for a city attorney. I was a local banker for many, many years here, and I appreciated when the constituents and my customers looked at bankers that lived in this town, shopped in this town, and didn't go outside. But I also understand that there are services of the city that require contractors outside the city, experience outside the city. So I accept that, and I am open to an attorney outside the city. If I felt that Mr. Williams is the best qualified candidate of all other local attorneys that are considered or can be considered, Mayor, then I would feel satisfied in voting for your recommendation for Mr. Williams as the city attorney. Tonight, my constituents will at least know that I asked. And that's what I'm doing tonight. Mr. Williams, I'm gonna throw out to you, if you were to become our city attorney, would you even consider living in DeRidder? And becoming a resident of DeRidder?
That's a great question.
Thank you.
I think it, just full transparency, I am married, I have a wife and a child. I've been in Alexandria for my entire life. So I have a lot of roots there, a lot of things, that, are important to us as a family. So uprooting my family to come to DeRidder, I would have to run it by my
I'm
wife.
sure.
But to be honest with you, I've spent a lot of time here in DeRidder. I have family here, spent a lot of weekends here as a child, so I'm not like a total stranger of DeRidder. I'm someone who has some roots here. And so my dad's from Leesville, my mom's from here, so I'm from Alexandria, that's still kind of central Louisiana. So at the end of the day, I feel like I do have some connections, although I might not live here and like you all do. I feel like I still have a heart for the things you all do, and I've always, from afar, appreciated the city of DeRidder and the things y'all have done and brought to the table. So I definitely hope that you all can see that side of it as well, and give me the opportunity to showcase that with the city.
And I do, and thank you. I have 2 points that I want to just share or go over with you. One is, and I think the price per hour or the amount per hour that you're asking for is very reasonable for an attorney of your experience and your qualifications. Absolutely no question. The one question that I do have, since we've never had an attorney from outside of DeRidder.
It's not true.
What, excuse me if it's not true, but since my last attorney, since I've been on the council, that I've had experience with, that I haven't had an attorney, I didn't know what all out-of-pocket expenses are. What would those be?
You were referencing the contract?
I'm referring to the contract.
Okay. The
What,
contract,
know what those be?
out-of-pocket expenses would be, things in scope and practice of law. So if I had a big case, I needed to go to Baton Rouge to have a meeting, stay overnight for a few days, those would be the things. But obviously I would, get approval beforehand, I would do that. But on that contract, I pretty much, it's verbatim to the previous attorney that was approved last year. That's the same language he had in his contract.
Okay. Would
So-
there be travel mileage between Alexandria and DeRidder?
Just my time, because we all know the city it never closes. So my job, you can talk to people that have contacted me. I don't have office hours, so you can call me anytime. So if I'm traveling, for a meeting or something like that, my time as far as the meeting will be part of my bill.
So it would be safe to say that on a travel from Alexandria to DeRidder, roughly an ounce, I'm just trying to figure out how much this is gonna cost.
It would.
And I'm not saying it's not justified, I'm just trying to understand what it costs. So you're looking at probably $225 to
Yeah.
drive DeRidder.
Definitely, yes, sir.
Okay. Looking at your resume,
Mhm.
it would be very hard to find another attorney as qualified as what I see right here
Yes.
in our area.
Thank you. And
My only statement, though,
Mhm.
is that I would like to at least know that if there is an attorney that's local, as if there was a banker
Mhm.
when I was in the business,
Mhm.
that would have an opportunity to share his qualifications, that if there is a local one that has similar qualifications or not as good, I would know that when I voted for Shane Williams, that was the best candidate, and I went along with the mayor's recommendation.
I can't answer that, but I will say that I never met the mayor before to after the election. I followed, like I said, I followed the city of DeRidder. I contacted him afterwards, and so I felt like if there was a need, and I didn't, in any capacity, I wanted to help. Obviously, I've had experience being the city attorney of the 9th largest city in Louisiana. We had over 1,000 employees, a $300 million budget. My budget alone probably was over $10 million a year. I had over 12 employees that I directly supervised. I supervised over 50 contract attorneys.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
No, just
No,
the
the
amazing,
qualifications,
the
I
amazing,
do not
no.
question.
So
I
the
do
amazing
not
thing
question.
is how you say He's an awesome attorney.
No question,
Then you said that you're not questioning his integrity,
not question.
but yet you make him feel like he has to justify his accomplishments in your questioning. Because the attorney that we had, which is a good attorney, I never questioned him, never questioned his decisions to take care of the city. Neither did you when he outsourced an attorney in Lake Charles, when he outsourced attorneys in New Orleans. And I have that documentation to substantiate it, and you probably signed off on the bills. But I'm letting you know that I chose him because of everything that you're saying. But you don't finish there. You continue to try, and I don't know if this is your intent, but the perception from me looking is that the other mayors get to choose who represent, and you guys trust their judgment. But the moment I do, there's a problem. Now we're saying, because this is my perspective, and I believe in being transparent. I want you to understand how I feel. But you come back and say, you have excellent credentials, and if we can find anyone else like this. Secondly, everyone in town knew that he had left. You said you got the text. All you guys got the text. Why didn't one of your attorneys reach out to me? Why didn't somebody from home say, hey, we know you're coming in, we want to reach out to you? This gentleman did, and I didn't even know him. He did from Facebook. I had to go back and research to learn myself him, and then bring him in and ask him if he'd be the interim attorney. I didn't get that support that you're saying that all of a sudden they're wanting to give me, and I hadn't heard a name of an attorney that you guys have been recommending. So if you can just give me an attorney's name, but even then, I'll tell you that I would interview with him. But I will tell you, as you said, this is a strong resume, and I just don't think that we should be challenging his resume, because that may not be your intent. I'm not saying that it is, but the perspective is, I've never seen any other attorney have to stand before the council and question why he made the decision, or the mayor why he chose an attorney.
Mayor, the only thing I'm gonna say on that is that the other attorney that we had was recommended by the previous city attorney, and that this is the first time.
His father.
His dad.
Okay, well, thank you. It was his father.
So this
And
is
it
what
did,
the,
and
this
he
is what
did
the
have
city's trying to break.
qualifications that we did look at, and please don't interpret this as that I'm challenging. I am just trying to
But it sounds
be
condescending
able to
somewhat.
show.
I'm just sharing. It
my-
sounds somewhat
Excuse me,
Oh, well, I'm
condescending.
excuse me
sorry,
just
my
a
tone
moment,
sounds
excuse
that
me
way.
just a moment. Mayor, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
You say we're challenging him, but I will tell you, I've been one of your biggest supporters.
I
Okay,
understand.
you know that,
That's right.
and I'm your friend. But to me, you've come across as downplaying our city attorneys in our city.
Well,
Hold on. And I want to know, did you pick up the phone and call any of them yourself?
I went to one that I trusted,
Okay?
and I did ask him. And I also asked him if he knew someone else who would. And he said that he would not. And he said he did not know anyone that had the municipality experience.
Sure.
And I was working through an attorney to try and find an attorney that would come in. But again, and listen, I don't mean, and thank you for that. I appreciate you.
because I'm
Please
your
don't,
supporter too.
right, I know you are. And listen, the bottom line is we all support the city moving forward. And I'm big enough to say I apologize if I came in too aggressive, because I don't want to do that. My objective is to move the city forward, and I need your support to do that. I respect your questions, and I may sound like I didn't, but I do respect your questions. But I think that, so along with your questions, along with those questions, I've given my responses on why we got in this situation in the first place. I had absolutely nothing to do with it. But I think that it was a blessing for them to come because of what they've done already for our city. And I think if they can continue that path, that what they've already done for our city's going to continue to move forward. And if we continue to kick the can down the road, we have to ask ourselves, are we part of the problem or part of the solution? That's all I'm saying. So,
Mayor, may I add one thing?
yes, sir.
Just because we are asking questions does not mean we're ruling out Mr. Williams.
Right.
At all.
How else would we know this if we didn't ask?
I'm tracking. I got you.
And that's, I told you, I like his qualifications. I've got to be able to show and feel in my heart that I was able to, I'm gonna be honest with you, Shane, if I got another attorney that's just like you, that has equally as impressive qualifications, probably will vote for one here in town. But if I've got another attorney in this town that doesn't have that picture, I'd probably vote for Shane Williams. But without me asking that tonight, I cannot go back to my people. And I don't think these people here can go back to their people and say, yeah, I'm not gonna rubber stamp what the mayor said when it's on an issue like this, whether it's the city attorney, whether it's any other professional that we have. And Mayor, yes, I'm probably gonna challenge you in the future, but I promise I'm gonna support you fully. But until I can feel comfortable, I cannot just say, yes, I can vote for Shane today without the understanding that there's somebody else in our community that doesn't want it, doesn't wanna do it, or isn't qualified as Mr. Williams. As you said, you want the best. I don't want a good old boy attorney. I want a good old boy counselor. But I do want the best attorney because legally, they represent the council, Mayor,
Okay, but the city, all of us.
and they represent the city.
That's right.
So, we fully understand.
Yes, sir. And so again, I respect your questions.
Thank you.
I kind of got touchy because I had a flashback on how it was when I first walked in without an attorney being there. I was in a crisis situation. Didn't know
Thank you,
who.
Mr.
Yeah.
Williams, for
So
filling that position.
so yeah. And again, I appreciate your questions. If you have any more, just ask your questions, and I have and thank you so much, Randy. I just believe in my heart that I'm doing what's right for the city, and I'm very passionate about it, and I know you guys are as well. I have absolutely nothing against any attorney in town. Most of them, if not all of them, has helped me in one time or another, and I support them big time. So if there's one that you'd like me to talk to and interview, I will. But again, it's not saying that I'm gonna dismiss Mr. Williams as well,
And I don't want you to.
because of everything that you said. This is heavy. He's done a lot, and I need someone who understands the law. I need someone. My situation is way different than the other mayors, and I understand that, and I'm not gonna shy away from it. Being the first black, I need what I feel in my heart, the best, to make sure that I'm okay, my family is okay, along with the other, all of us, we're all okay. Because if I don't get who I believe is gonna support all of us, I feel like I'm failing all of us. So every decision is made for the least of these as well as the greatest of these, because we all need the best. So again, if I came at you like I'm biting at your questions, I apologize for that. I'm passionate, as well as all of us are here. I'm passionate about the city. You see it the way I move. That's just the way it is. But I also appreciate Mr. Williams. I appreciate the previous attorney. His entire family has been good to me. So I have nothing against any of them. The judges, I have nothing against anyone here. It's just that the decision had to be made in a very short period of time. I was blessed to get a phone call from someone saying, hey, I'll come and help you. Didn't know him. I saw his resume, I saw the experience, called Llama. They said, yeah, this and that. And the Louisiana Municipal Association, I wanted to make sure I was doing my due diligence. So if you want to do yours, I respect you for doing your due diligence.
And Mr. Williams, if I came, and my wife will tell you, when I get passionate on something, my tongue gets strong.
Oh, no.
And I apologize for that.
No.
But at the same time, please, if my questioning in any way offended you
No, it didn't.
or questioned any part of integrity, that is not my intent at all. And again, I want to go back and just say thank you for the positions you came in when our city needed that, and appreciate your understanding that we look at that, your experience, and all of our local attorneys, and we will make I will make a fair decision on my vote when I do that. Thank you.
Mr. Reynolds?
Yeah, another concern is with you being in Alexandria, for example, where do we stand as far as being able to contact you and talk to you? Because sometimes we have issues too. In fact, there's been things like the adjudicated hearing process, for example. I mean, there's situations or opportunities that may arise run by your office. And, you know, and I mean, with local, we had that. At the end of the day, that's a big deal, you know, to be able to just stop by. Accessibility, that's right.
Yeah, and like I
So-
said, I've been doing it for a couple of months now.
How many cities do you represent?
We represent about 4 or 5 cities. I just got voted in. I'm the magistrate judge in Cheneyville, and I live in Alexandria. We do work in Oberlin. Like we do, it's not for us. I mean, I'm a lawyer. It got to be multifaceted, and so when people call, we answer the phone. You know, I'm sure Ms. Glenna can attest. I mean, anytime people have reached out, Councilman, President reached out last week, had a question, got right on it. So I've been doing this for a while. I've been an attorney for almost 20 years. It was a lot of times representing Alexandria, and I might have been away, and phone calls came. So it's like, that's not something that I'm not abreast to, but I can give you all my cell phone number. You can contact me directly at any time. And I think what it's all about, like me as city attorney, I represent the city. I don't represent the mayor, I don't represent the council, I represent the whole city. My job is to keep the city out of trouble, keep us legal. And so, you know, I feel that, you know, I think once everybody, you know, gets comfortable with me, I think we'll work well together. I said, I came in, I didn't know anybody, you know, Ms. Glenn, I didn't know you, but anytime we work together, it's always been cordial and professional, and I think it's gonna continue that way. So I definitely feel like, you know, me being in Alexandria is not gonna, on my end, it's not gonna be a problem.
So you're saying accessibility is not an issue?
Not an issue.
Ms. Montine Woods?
I received phone calls only concerning about why did the other attorney leave, not about the interim coming in. And he said he's accessible. It's a recommendation on behalf of the mayor, and my constituents are happy with it. You know, I haven't received anything otherwise. You have roots here, and I didn't know that until I found out about the roots you have here. And you said you're accessible. You're here if we have questions, and I think it's all good. It's all gravy.
Mr. LeBeau, did you have any comments before we move on?
I've gone back and forth listening to this. You know, Mayor Mike has slightly been criticized because he didn't reach out to other attorneys, local. On the other hand, I don't think any local
Calls
attorney
him.
reached out to
Correct.
Mike.
That's true. Correct.
That road goes both ways.
Right.
So, you know, if you want to table it out, but on the other hand, unless it's something extraordinary, I think the mayor should have his prerogative for who he wants to appoint. You know, I mean, that's kind of where we're at. Would I rather have a local attorney? But I'm not the mayor. If I was the mayor, I would try to have a local attorney, but I'm not the mayor. And I could see as Mike talks about that process he went through, I could see how he made his decision. And I think you can too. You know, Mr. Williams is really, it's nothing against you. I mean, these people come from a good heart. That's all. And they have legitimately had people talk to them about, why don't you hire local? It's kind of like, why don't you shop local? You know, that kind of thing. And Mike brought up, look, he's left behind the eight ball. Charlie left, no communication, and you said you didn't even know him.
I did.
You know, I mean, it's just so, after Mike gives his background of the thing, it makes sense how Mr. Williams came into the situation. I don't know.
Thank you.
It's just,
Well, he doesn't represent the mayor.
I'm just saying, well, it's no secret here that Mr. Shane Williams is my nephew. I've been knowing him all my life. He is the best qualified candidate that I know that we as a city can have. I know he's a man of integrity. From the time that I've spent with my nephew, I can honestly tell you, if you can find anyone in the city with better qualifications than this, then get it. But I know that he's gonna do the city well. Just like he told you, he don't work for the mayor, he works for the city. And I can personally tell you that this young man here will do his best for the city. We all shop outside of DeRidder. We don't hesitate going to Lake Charles, we don't hesitate going, whenever we need something that's not here, we go there. It's not here. The mayor chose Mr. Williams, and I back the mayor's decision because I know the mayor would not put anyone over this city whose heart wasn't for the city and didn't have the qualifications. So I trust you, Mayor. And just like he said before, none of the mayors prior to him, whatever lawyer, whether it was local, whether it was father or son, when it was brought before the city council, it was always voted in. Now today that we have our mayor who's chose Mr. Williams to be our attorney, now we have a problem for it. I think the city's gonna move forward with this attorney. He's already done it for the last 2 months when we deserved.
Mayor.
Just briefly, guys, listen. The situation that I was in, it was a very close election. I need you to understand that. I won by 10 votes. I can't afford to do anything that's gonna bring scrutiny on the city or anything bad. I have to make good decisions. Secondly, everyone knew that I had won, and if not every attorney in town, most attorneys knew that this seat was vacant. Not one called and said, Mr. Mayor, I understand the seat is vacant. What can I do to help you? That is the situation that your mayor was in when he was walking in the doors for the first time. That is the situation that I was in. I get a phone call from Mr. Shane, who's only seen me on Facebook, but knew that the seat was vacant, and knew here I'm walking into the danger zone with ordinances and laws that I wasn't that familiar with, especially being a mayor. I'd never served as mayor before. What would you say? If you're hungry and someone give you a piece of bread, would you say, no, I'm gonna wait for a piece of bread around me? You're gonna eat it. Especially if you know that it's healthy. It's gonna give you the nutrients that you need to survive. So I hired Mr. Shane, not to hurt anyone, not to belittle any attorney, not to say that no attorney is not qualified. I think DeRidder has some of the best attorneys in the world. I believe that. I hate that 2 judges are retired. I told them both, I wish you both stayed. It's not that it was a slap in the face to the city. Actually, it was a slap in the face to the incoming mayor. But I'm not gonna act the victim, even though I was the one walking in without an attorney. I said that I was gonna move the city forward, and that is the plan. I'm not gonna talk about the attorney that left here. I think he's a man of integrity. I think he left for the betterment of his family, and I support it 100%. We talked since then, and gonna continue to talk. We have a relationship. But I believe that in order for this city to move in the direction that I believe is best for this city, Mr. Shane is part of that. And I'm asking that you would support me in this decision. If it turns out to be a bad decision, blame me. I don't have a problem with it. Say, Mayor, it was your fault. Blame me. I'll own it. That's all I have. Thank you.
Before we move on, I have one more question for myself, just to clarify. We are only retaining or hiring him. That doesn't mean if Mr. Derrick, like he came last time, we have to pay for his expenses to come to the meeting just because he wants to come.
No, so the other mayors that was here would outsource things that they could not do in time. So I'm asking for the same liberties.
I understand that. That's not my question. My question is, I don't want to hire 3 attorneys.
No,
Because Derrick has to charge this or this one has to charge that.
Thank you. Same price. Everything, none of that changes. And if you don't think that I looked at the prices of the prior attorneys, the ones in Lake Charles and New Orleans that was outsourced here, then I did my due diligence.
I definitely know we outsource because I
So-
sat temporarily in that, and that was at the discretion of the council and Mr. Lestage, and we have to. There are some things that Mr. Williams will have to do the same because it might not be something he's comfortable with, and he has to outsource it. I understand that 100%. I just want to make sure when we're hiring an attorney, we're not hiring Derek Johnson and Associates. I want to hire Shane Williams.
Okay, well, that would be up to Shane.
And then it would have to be, if we have to outsource someone in his thing, that's not the issue.
Okay.
It's just, we're hiring him. Last time, Mr. Williams, you had, Mr. Johnson was here with you. I don't wanna pay for they can ride together.
Oh, no.
You see what I'm
That's-
saying?
I
I don't wanna have to be
100%.
paying 2 and 3 out of their office
No.
for our one attorney
Yes,
spot.
sir.
Just
Yes, sir.
Shane did.
I get it.
You-
I get
you're-
it.
You're
I'm just
100%
clarifying.
right. Very good question. Very good question. And, no, sir,
Okay.
we've already looked at that.
That's what I thought. I just wanted to clarify for
Yes,
people
sir.
watching.
There's no way I would double bill the city. That dog don't happen.
And I had written in my notes while everyone was talking, I feel now, I listened to Mr. LeBou and I wrote it down here too. No one called the mayor. And I'm not belittling anyone. I think we have qualified. We keep talking about comparison. I don't think we should be comparing qualifications of anyone in DeRidder versus Mr. Williams. Everyone that passed the bar, first of all, I feel like they're qualified. And they've been practicing many years in this town. I do believe there would be qualified people here, but none of them called and reached out. So that is now my opinion, and I'm changing my thought process on that based off of I did have a couple of conversations this afternoon. If we put this down the road, it is only my opinion. We're not going to get anywhere in 2 weeks. We're going to be in the same spot to either vote yes or no, and then let me remind the council, I will read out of our Book of Ordinances. He shall be appointed by the mayor with council approval and serves at the pleasure of the council. I just want to make sure everyone understands that this is not, he serves for the city, but he also protects this council because there are so many lawsuits, as you all know, going around right now within the state of, even in the state of Louisiana. And I don't want to be part of that. I want an attorney that's going to represent me well. Do I think one in DeRidder is better than him? No, I don't. Do I think he's better than anyone in DeRidder? No, I don't. Okay? I want to be clear on my opinion. Everyone else has voiced theirs. However, if we kick it down the road, 2 weeks, we're going to be here again. And I'll remind the council one more time, per our Code of Ordinances, that if Mr. Williams is voted down, he cannot be brought back up for 6 months. So then we're in the same position again of an interim attorney. If he chooses to keep him as interim attorney, that is fine. But technically, the mayor does have to put someone in front of us to vote on at that time again. So it cannot be Mr. Williams. So with that said, is there any other comments? Okay, the
Mr.
next
Mayor,
step is,
Mr. President, before you make a vote, and because the mayor did say that he would be open to a discussion, and I do not want to kick this down any road any further, and I wish we could vote quicker, that I would like to make a motion that at least for the next 2 weeks, or June the 28th, for us to come back, which I feel our decision would be pretty close, but at least I know that I gave that opportunity to visit with the mayor, and anybody else has an opportunity to visit with the mayor, and then come back to this council on June the 28th and vote for Mr. Williams or whatever else has been discussed. So at this time, I would like to make a motion that we postpone our vote for tonight until July the 28th meeting.
No,
sir, I'm sorry. Per Robert's Rules of Order, that's what we have adopted to run our meetings. Perhaps we feel more information would be needed and we want more time to gather it before making a decision. There could be 100 reasons why you might want to stop dealing with a certain proposal for the time being and put it off until another occasion. This can be moved. We can have a motion to postpone to a certain time or until the next meeting. In that case, it will come up right after the unfinished business at the next meeting. So this is allowable per Robert's Rules of Orders, which governs our meetings. So at this time, I will entertain the motion to postpone this, as brought up by Mr. Marcello, until July the 28th.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Ms. Glenna, please call the roll.
Councilman Godfrey,
No.
Councilwoman Woods,
No.
Councilman Marcello,
Yes.
Councilman Hooper,
Yes.
Councilman Reynolds,
No.
Councilman LeBoux,
No.
President Larkin.
And I am now a no. What's the roll?
5 no, 2 yes.
Okay, so it is not being postponed at this time. May I have a motion to adopt
Move that we
the
adopt.
ordinance?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Councilman Hooper,
Yes.
Councilman Godfrey,
Yes.
Councilwoman Woods,
Yes.
Councilman Marcello,
Yes.
Councilman Reynolds,
Yes.
Councilman LeBoux,
Yes.
President Larkin.
Yes. The motion being approved is now adopted by the council. We will move to public hearing number 2, please.
An ordinance amending section 11D, take-home vehicles numbers 1 through 6 of the City of DeRidder, Louisiana Standard Policies and Procedures for Personnel and Pay Administration, and repealing all ordinances and partial ordinances in conflict herewith.
This time I will open the public hearing and ask if there are any public comments. Hearing none, the public hearing is closed, and ask if there are any remarks from the council, and I do believe Mayor Harris will answer those questions for us. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Hooper?
Mayor, we talked briefly about what this was gonna involve. Would you mind explaining to the council what we're gonna accomplish with this? Thank you.
So the objective is to be better stewards of the vehicles, the gas prices, and make sure that each vehicle that's going home can be justifiable. So, I'm tasking the supervisors to qualify certain vehicles going home to the residencies. Why do you need this vehicle at your house? It's not emergency, and I think that's gonna, help us cut back on some costs as far as gas costs and also insurance liabilities. I think that, DeRidder is a small place, and a lot of vehicles I see are places they should not be. And, this is just for better, just being good stewards with the, city.
Accountability.
It does not affect the police and the fire.
Oh,
correct?
definitely, no, so this does not, thank you, this does not affect the police and the fire. So they'll always have their emergency vehicles, because as you guys know, they are emergency responders. But this is mainly for the city workers.
City workers, okay.
Anyone else? Where were we?
I move to adopt.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Councilman Godfrey,
Yes.
Councilwoman Woods,
Yes.
Councilman Marcello,
Yes.
Councilman Hooper,
Yes.
Councilman Reynolds, Councilman LeBoux,
Yes.
President Larkin.
Yes, the motion being approved, the ordinance is now adopted by the council.
An ordinance authorizing the City of DeRidder through its mayor to enter into a contract with RC Paving Inc. for the West Park Trail Improvements MA project number B6-24034-DA, and repealing all ordinances and partial ordinances in conflict herewith.
I will now open the public hearing and ask if anyone has any public comments. Hearing none, the public hearing is closed. Any remarks or questions from the council? Mr. Hooper?
Yes, I wanna, thank all the legwork that went into making this happen. This has been years and years coming up before us, and the park has been needing this improvement. We've been putting, trees in our parks, and this is just gonna add, to our walking trail. I mean, I do drive by that park every day, and it is utilized heavily. And so I thank all the people that had something to do with making this happen. RC Paving will be conducting the work, and may I ask how long it will take and when it will be completed?
Please come forward if you don't mind. We have, so the microphone, just come forward so we can hear you on tape. Thank you.
If we can get an improvement in weather conditions, then we can probably look at starting from start to finish approximately a month.
Okay.
It's going to be logistically kind of hard to wrap our hands around dealing with the weather and the soil conditions out there, but getting equipment to and from the different places that we need to be. But we're hoping about a month, have it wrapped up from start to finish.
One other question, and I'm sure we're gonna look at, closing certain sections
Oh,
to
yeah.
be, careful with our citizens. How will that work?
Well, if you don't mind, just for a second. Yes, sir, we're gonna, one of the things we're wanting to do, this is why we hadn't told to start yet. We're waiting for school to start back because all the traffic you said that's out there, students will be in school and, then a lot easier to rope that stuff off and actually do it safely.
Correct. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, may I
I
have a
move to
motion?
adopt.
Second. Thank you. Perfect. Please call the roll.
Councilwoman Woods,
Yes.
Councilman Marcello,
Yes.
Councilman Hooper.
Yes.
Councilman Godfrey,
Yes.
Councilman Reynolds, Councilman LeBeau, President Larkin.
Yes. Motion being approved has now been adopted by the council. We will move to reports and start with you, Mayor Harris.
Hey, I just wanna say that, it's been a ride. It's been a ride, and I appreciate the passion, in these meetings that we all have for our beliefs, and it's great, that's what really makes it worth the ride. I get to see different perspectives and understandings, but I do believe at the end of the day, we all have the city's best interests at heart. I do believe that, whether we come from east side, west, north, or south of DeRidder, at the end of the day, I believe we have the city's best interests at heart. And I understand, me coming in, it's kind of difficult to understand my judgment and things that I've experienced that make me see life and the things the way I see them. But I'm asking you to just continue to first pray for me, encourage me, and pray for our city. And we're gonna keep moving the city forward. But please understand when I say we, it includes all of us. It includes everyone at this table. It includes everyone that works at City Hall. And we all have a valid role to play, very valuable role to play. And if we disagree, that's fine. We can still shake hands. Okay, that's fine. But I just pray that we just keep the city at the forefront as we move forward. That's all. We all
Is Mr. Williams here? Is the only one I'm questioning. Oh, there he is. Do you have anything to add or report? If you do, come forward, but if not, you sure? What? Awesome. Okay, we have no Fort Polk ex officio. In consideration of other items of agenda, there's not, but item 16 is the reading of a public notice, and we'll have Ms. Luther read that, please.
Notice is hereby given in compliance with the Louisiana Revised Statute 42-19-1 that the city of DeRidder, Louisiana will meet and open in public session on the 11th day of August, 2025 at 5:30 p.m. at the City Hall, 200 South Jefferson Street, DeRidder, Louisiana, to consider calling an election to be held in the city of DeRidder, Louisiana on November the 15th, 2025, to authorize the levy and collection of a 10-year 5 mills property tax for the purpose of acquiring, constructing, and improving police and fire protection facilities and equipment for the city, including acquisition of vehicles, fire trucks, and communications equipment.
And for those viewing this meeting, this notice will also be publicized in the News Leader on Friday, July the 18th. Any other comments from the council?
Yes, it's off screen, but we will vote on that in August.
No, that will be voted on in November.
Now,
And it's,
for us to put it on the ballot.
is that right?
August 11th.
August 11th.
We will vote to either put it on the ballot or not put it on the ballot.
Correct.
Correct?
Correct.
Can I ask a
Is
question?
this a millage?
Fire and
Can
police
somebody tell me?
It's the millage that's already been in place.
for 20 years.
Yep.
The same amount, or are we raising?
It
Or
was
we adjusting?
2.75, it's 5 mills.
Say it again?
It was 2.75 and now it's going to 5 mills.
Is that correct,
Asking for
Mayor?
5 mills.
Actually, yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Why did we raise it?
It's not a discussion at this time. Thank you, sir. Anyone else?
I'll have it.
I do have a comment, or was you gonna say? I do have a comment.
Go ahead, Mr.
Only
Marcello.
comment I have is I wanna commend the mayor, and I wanna commend Tracy Williams and the community service director and all of the fine folks that I know you had healthy with the 4th of July Fest. It was a wonderful event, a great family activity, and I look forward to that again next year. So thank you, and please share it to the people that helped in that event. Thank you, Mike. I know they did. Thank you.
Mr. Hooper?
Yes. You know, we all had our speak on tonight, and I admire everyone for handling themselves very professional. We all are elected officials. We're looking out for our community. My view may be different than someone else's view, but as long as the end goal is to take care of our citizens of this community, Mr. Williams, we look forward to working with you, and thank you for what you've done in the past and in the future. So please don't take it the wrong way when we question anything. And Mayor, when we question something, don't take it the wrong way. Let's talk it out. You see your side, we see our side, and let's come together. That's the ultimate goal. So again, I appreciate the way we handled everything tonight.
Me too.
Amen.
I'm just enjoying the unity, cause I know, been there. Unity, work together.
If no
Cause I
other
trust in God.
no other council comments, this meeting is adjourned.
That went pretty well.
Congratulations.